Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Nick at BarBend.com. Today I'm going to be reviewing Man Sports ISO-Aminos. So Man Sports is based in Texas, and it actually is an acronym. It stands for Metabolic Augmenting Nutrition. And what they claim is different about them is that they like to have their BCAA powders handcrafted, small batch, they're hand bottled. So it's a little bit like a craft beer company in that regard. And this here is their sour batch flavor. And what they like to say about their product is that it doesn't have the everything but the kitchen sink approach. They like to just have a very pure, normal, no frills approach to their amino acids. So it's a pretty simple formula. It's a sour batch flavor. You'll see how it tastes with water. It's good, it's interesting. I didn't know what sour batch was when I picked this up. But yeah, the flavoring is just sour. Normally, it's very normal to have a sweet and sour flavoring for BCAAs because it helps to cover the bitterness of the BCAAs themselves. Typically, that's in the form of like fruit punch or watermelon or cherry flavor. This is pretty much just sweet and sour flavor, but it's actually pretty pleasant. All right, let's take a look at the nutrition and the ingredients. So there's no calories in this, no cholesterol, no fat, no sodium, no sugars. The no sodium is actually a little bit unusual. That's often included as like an electrolyte. But again, they really pride themselves on this being a really simple formula. So the main ingredients anyway are 5 grams of BCAAs. That's it. It's leucine. So you get 2.5 grams of leucine and then 1.25 grams of valine and isoleucines. That's a 2-to-1-to-1 ratio for the BCAAs, which is pretty standard. That's really it. Then you have the other ingredients though, right? Which helps it go down a bit more easily. So that's the citric acid, the natural and artificial flavors, sucralose, so that is an artificial sweetener. It's also called Splenda. You got the acesulfate potassium, that's another artificial sweetener. Then you got maltodextrin, which is another sweetener. It's often made from like grain or starch. And then finally, they've got silicon dioxide, which is an anti-caking agent. So it's not exactly nothing but the BCAAs, but as far as additional supplements like say arginine, beta-alanine, and those sorts of performance-enhancing compounds, those aren't here. It's just BCAAs. So as far as the price goes, this little tub here will give you 30 servings for $20. So that comes out to 66 cents per serving, or 13.2 cents per gram of branched chain amino acid, which is very inexpensive. It's almost as cheap as you can possibly find it. Normally, a lot of the cheaper ones, like Scivation Extend or Muscle Tech, and like the popular inexpensive BCAA powders, usually the cheapest you'll find them for is about 11 cents per gram of BCAA. So this isn't the cheapest you'll find, but it's pretty close. So what I liked about Man Sports ISO-Aminos, it is inexpensive. It tastes pretty good. It's not a proprietary formula either. I come across those a lot. This is very transparent with the ingredients. I also like that it's also small batch. There's a bit of a novelty factor there if that's something that you like. What I didn't like quite so much about ISO-Aminos is, it does have the artificial sweeteners sucralose and acesulfate potassium. Those are controversial in some circles. Some people like to steer clear of them. It's also made in a facility that processes ingredients that have milk and egg and soy, wheat, fish, a lot of the big allergens. So if you have very sensitive allergies, you might want to steer clear of this. And finally, this doesn't, like I said earlier, it doesn't have any bells and whistles. That might be a pro or a con, depending on how you like your products. Personally, I often like to have BCA that has a bit of extra beta-alanine or some caffeine or something like that. This doesn't have any of that, so depending on you, that might not be something you like. Alright, those are my thoughts on Man Sports ISO-Aminos. For the full review, you can check out the link below at BarBend.com.